this special edition of Hannity. Joe.
Texas Attorney General. Texas Attorney.
All right, we're getting close. You know, you can hit that like right away. You can just do that real quick while I'm still getting set up. You do that. That helps a lot if you can hear me. Find something real quick because I show you something. Hang All right, here we go. Working. Sound is jumping. Stuff is happening. All right. Here we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. Now we got it. Now it's working. What's happening, everybody? Hi. Welcome to the show. Sounds okay. All right. I had a little audio restart thing or whatever that was happening, and it managed to. We're fine. It's fine. Nobody has to worry about it, especially me. Let's go. All right. First of all, right out of the gate, welcome chat room. Hit that like. Let everybody know you're here. 777. That's the number that's in my chat number right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's the Jesus number. That is the Jesus. Lord, praise Jeebus. Oh my God. 777, hit that. Give me a super chat. Lord, please let these people understand that the show is not free, that freedom ain't free, and neither is the freedom to laugh and enjoy ourselves at the expense of some of these dickheads. Lord, please deliver us from the silliness, the maniacal, the crazy, the craniums filled with shit. Lord, please come down upon us all and deliver us from this noxious, ridiculous silliness that is. Lord, please. Sorry. Okay. Where do we even start? Okay. You guys know I'm a. Hold on. I feel like I should start it the show this way. Guys, it's a witch hunt, guys, against my dad, guys, hey, guys, right, guys, where do we even start? Okay, let me show you what triggered me today. This is what happens. Oh, I know it. That's an alarm. So there's so much. There's so much. Okay. So CSL, our dear Can't Stop Lying in the chat room, hallowed would be his name. He sends me clips so that I don't have to pick clips that I've already seen, so we can watch them together, so that I don't double down, or I don't what I would consider like doing a shooting pen. I think a lot of people who do this, what I do on the internet, nobody quite does what I do. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely not. It's original, it's beautiful, and people love us for it. And hey, man, nobody even thought about it. All right. That there's the folks that do what I do. Many of them have teams of people. And the whole goal of that team is not to, let's present a piece of stuff to our host who is witty and interesting and full of information, and let him go through the discovery process like everybody does when they hear a new piece of news or something like that. Let's all sit around and hunt for a clip that we all agree is full of easily debunked bullshit in a very concise format, or we'll grab a large chunk of someone else's show, we'll cut a piece of it out that's particularly egregious, and then we'll just dump on it ahead of time, and we'll all have a big round table. We'll all sit around and go, oh, you could also say this, and then here's this article, and all this kind of, okay. And they don't, none of it is based on this idea that they can react to what's actually happening as it happens, like I do. Now, pardon the overt use of lip gloss in this next thing, but you guys recognize this guy, right? Josh Hawley voted the Senate. I think the senator most likely to actually be an Archie Comics character. 3 years running. Now, this video came up in the number, in the videos that CSL put forward to me, and it's a Josh Hawley sounds the alarm on this disaster. Now, it could be, I don't know, border related. I mean, what isn't a disaster? The disaster that the stock market's going so high it has to come down, and that Biden is creating a situation where things are too good and that's going to wreck everything. Whatever the fucking story. It doesn't quite matter. The reason it doesn't quite matter is because today, ladies and gentlemen, today, right here in the town that I'm in Las Vegas, and the town that CSL is in, regularly, I think. I mean, he may be roaming the countryside at this point. We don't know. But in the town we're actually in, and I'm in, the guy who did the FD 1023, the guy who came up with the bullshit story about $5 million for Biden and $5 million for Hunter to get choke and fired and all that crap, right? Remember that guy? The guy who the trusted FBI. Well, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to this guy. This would be this is a video from Shock Moment. FBI official admits doc alleging Biden took $5 million in bribes exists, and he admitted it to Josh Hawley. Isn't that nice? Now, that was, some of you are like, that was 8 months ago. And we now know that this is blazing bullshit. But let's go, join me in the Wayback Machine. Would you please? Oh, Alyosha, look at that. That's impressive. A 90 stream streak. I hope I'm worth it. That's why I wake up every day trying to figure out a way to make it worth your while. Shall we just let's go into this Wayback Machine for a minute, because it's especially choice in the context that the FBI source they are talking about, who gave the FBI the report that was in this FD 1023, has been indicted and was arrested at Harry Reid Airport right down here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lost wages, as we like to call it. And he's in court right now. Yeah. Like, as of about an hour ago, that motherfucker's in, and what they're arguing is the dude has like multiple passports and they should not allow him to leave. All right. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Well, let's check this out real quick. Just watch this with that little nugget in your head. And maggots, trolls who are here, please remember, we're going back in time. Remember how you felt about this at the time, how excited you got, how motivated you were, how you thought this is the smoking gun of smoking guns. This was the smoking gun that was inside the crust of the smoking gun that broke apart in your hands, like fresh smoking gun right from the oven, covered in cheese. Remember how good you felt? Remember how you were like, this is going to get him. Hunter's going down. Biden's going down. Impeachment payout. Right? Remember how you felt? Okay. I just want to see if you, like, rewatching these, if you feel the same way.
Started to answer Senator Blackburn's question that not releasing the 1023 or talking about it as a matter of life and death. Question of life and death, you said. Explain.
It is potentially a question of life and death
for whom?
With regard to the source of the information.
Yeah, because if he's lying, I'm going to fucking kill him. I'm kidding.
So now we've confirmed that the document exists. That's progress.
Wow. Zing! Pow! It exists. All right.
Because the FBI director initially denied that it exists. Why did he do that?
We have already and previously acknowledged the existence of the documents.
Yeah, after you first denied it. Now, when a member of this committee read it,
you know, he read it out loud to everybody. You know, it was sitting there for a couple of years, gathering dust, and the trusted FBI source that was behind it was just getting on with his fucking life, just whistling while he worked, and just having a good old time. So we need to look into this. Why hasn't this received the scrutiny it deserves? Well, I agree. This, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is the period of time where they guaranteed, Josh Hawley and a few others, guaranteed that Alexander Smirnov would go to jail. Because if they had just left it alone and had not asked for them to keep looking into it, they never would have re-interviewed him. He wouldn't have lied again and made up a whole other lie, a whole new one on top of the ones he said before. He wouldn't have doubled down on details that were complete bullshit while they sat there looking at the fucking calendar of his travel, knowing and when he worked and where he was. Ugh.
The FBI director, let's just get the record straight. The FBI director initially said it doesn't exist. Then Senator Grassley said, I've read it. Then he...
Bam!
He said, oh, okay, well, gotcha. I guess it does exist.
I don't think that's how the exchange went, but let's just enjoy him being a dick, considering what we know now.
Now you're going back and forth with members of this committee, what's in it. Why don't you just release it? Is it classified?
The document is not classified.
Okay. Will you commit to releasing it?
Senator, we'll take that back and we will work with you and this committee.
How about just a yes or no? Will you commit to releasing this unclassified document that alleges that the President of the United States The President of the United States.
The President of the United States? Huh?
Has taken $5 million or more in bribes from a foreign
$5 million in bribes. Boom.
nation.
The document has already been released pursuant to a subpoena to the House Oversight Committee.
Has it been released to this committee?
We will work with this committee within the parameters
Does this committee have the phone number of the House committee or?
that are established to meet
Will you
the
release the
request.
document to the public? It's unclassified. Don't you think the
Yeah, release it to the public, and then we can really look into it. Who the fuck is this guy? What did he actually say? Is there something to it? Let's break it down. So just enjoy the fact that these guys were assholes about this. Holly knew it was a lie? I don't think so. Hi, Petrazi from Kentucky. How are you? No, I don't think he knew. I don't think he fucking cared. I think they wanted the document out, but once it started rolling, the assumption was they just wanted, they thought they'll never bring forward the source and they'll never go any further, and the allegation itself will be enough. This is the Republican methodology that Trump was selling, which was this idea of like dirty people up, don't actually do the investigation. This is what the Zelensky thing was about. Start an investigation, announce the investigation, but don't follow through, because you'll find out, like Comey did with Hillary's emails, you'll find out that there's no there. You get me? So don't go through with it. Just put up the billboard, never release the movie. And we'll all say it would have been so great if we ever got a chance to see it. That's the essence of this whole like kind of PR scheme. Now, he was not alone in this at all. Remember this lady? Remember this shit? Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks to reporters after reading the FBI's 1023 on Biden. Wow. This is shocking revelations. Remember this shit? I remember this. You guys remember? I think we may have even looked at this clip when it came out at the time. This is June of last year. So here you go. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene telling us all about it.
Shows the pure distinction. This information, this source that came forward, it's a paid informant.
Yeah, it's a paid informant. And the one thing that Republicans can always agree on is that when government spends money, they always know what they're doing. It's just to remind you that these assholes think government can't do anything right and everything's a waste of tax dollars, just for the record. But this...
by the FBI. This has nothing to do with Giuliani. This has nothing to do with the information that he brought forward in 2020.
Oh, by the way, the reason she said that was because they knew, because of Fruit of the Poison Tree, that the hard drive that they'd all been relying on, none of that would ever see the inside of a courtroom. None of it. And because, why would it? A, it's bullshit, completely unverifiable. The Washington Post, in their own article, where they said how the Washington Post verified the Hunter Biden laptop. By the way, you'll be surprised and shocked to find out that title was complete bullshit by the word. It was a poetry of lies. But in that, they said, our text looked at it, and it was, quote, a forensic nightmare. Never mind the fact that if you start there and it's through the information's got through ill-gotten gains, you can't use it on other stuff. And if the reason she's saying this is the stuff from the 1023 was not related to the stuff that came out from the laptop. Yeah, Andrea, who does have the laptop right now? I forget who in the chat room has it right now, but
totally separate, and it's
totally separate. So it won't get thrown out as Fruit of the Poison Tree, like every other thing we've relied on in this bullshit.
Extremely credible.
Oh, it's extreme. Yeah. Extremely credible. Yeah. This aged like sushi floating in a glass of milk on a windowsill.
Because he's a paid informant.
On a hot day.
I made some notes after I left the skiff.
Yeah, remember this? She made notes about what she saw after it's illegal to make notes in the skiff. So she wrote down what she saw after she walked out, as if that's not, It's the same thing, dum-dum.
Based on the information, and I'll share that with you guys right now. Basically, what was happening there is back in 2015, 2016, Burisma was looking to buy a U.S.-based oil and gas company. And this came from being advised by Hunter Biden and his partners. Biden had...
Also, no.
Biden said Shokin was corrupt. That was around the time of this meeting, was when Joe Biden, as vice president, had said that the prosecutor Shokin was corrupt. They hired Hunter on the board to make the problems go away. That's what they specifically said.
Yeah, Alexander Smirnov, who's in court about, I guess, 12 miles from where I stand right now in a detention hearing so that he can't flee the fucking country or fall out a window between now and trial.
Hunter...
I gotta say, just if you're a Russian stooge being used to attack the presidency in the United States of America and your last name is Smirnov, you gotta be careful. I mean, they're gonna smear you off the fucking cement.
Advised that they could raise more money if they bought a U.S. company. So the informant was trying to do the right thing. And
okay. The informant was trying to get them to start their own company. Oh, I think she has it backwards, actually. Say that again.
Bought a U.S. company. So the informant was trying to do the right thing and trying to advise Burisma that they shouldn't go this route. They should hire an attorney, work out their problems that they were being investigated for because they were having other legal problems. And that's why they were being investigated by this prosecutor Shokin. The informant was advising them, don't go this route. Why would you buy another U.S. company while you're under investigation? That's not a good idea.
He wanted them to, he's like Bobolinsky, by the way. He was trying to get them to do business through him, and he didn't like the fact that basically Hunter Biden and his team were saying, you guys should just buy that thing, and then as a subsidiary, it will be already established as an American company, and then you don't have to worry about, the SEC will make sure you're on the up and up.
So he's trying to tell him to do the right thing.
He is. He was trying to tell him to do the right thing. I mean, completely believable.
The owner of Burisma said that Hunter was stupid and that his other business partner was smart. He also said...
Yeah, the informant, you think he lied on the 1023 about that? That he was... That he told the FBI that Shokin, or that Zlochevsky thought that he personally was smart, but that Hunter was dumb. I don't know that that's verifiable. Also, by the way, where is it? Hold on. There's another one in here. Hold on. Where? She went out. This is the one. So this is her. This is her outside this is the, right around the same time. Speaks to reporters about the FD 1023 form on Biden. This is 8 months ago.
That's their work.
When all this shit was happening.
That's one we have across the world. Who gave this form, gave this information, and said that Joe Biden, as vice president, took a $5 million bribe.
Yeah, that's it. Took a $5 million bribe. I think we're all this guy's furrowed brow right now. And then one more piece of it. Chuck Grassley on the floor of the House.
Today, I'd like to address the unclassified FBI-generated 1023 form that I made public last week.
Very exciting. By golly. We need a translator. Hold on. Tell them what's up, Grassley. And by the way, if you don't know Chuck Grassley, he's from a long line of his grandpa, Chuck Wheatley, married his paternal great grandmother, Ida Cornley, and eventually they went from functional crops down to just selling mowers.
This is a 1023 that Director Wray refused to admit existed.
like a jerk. Man, why didn't he just tell you guys right away? Well, I don't know. Hey, I just off the top of my head, I'm just thinking maybe he was trying to save you from yourself. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like he was like, guys, it don't exist. And you're like, yeah, it does. And you're like, no, it don't. And you're like, yeah, sure it is. And you're like, dude, it don't. You know what I mean? It's like when you pulled over and they talking to your passenger and the passenger's like, they ain't nothing in the trunk. And you're like, yeah, there is. And you're like, no, there ain't nothing in the trunk. You know what I mean?
Until I and Chairman Comer.
Yep, screwed the pooch. You should have left well enough alone, man.
Told him that we had read the document. The FBI.
I mean, in all fairness, Christopher Wray probably didn't know you guys could read. I mean, he's heard you talk.
Provided a highly redacted version to the House Committee on Oversight.
Well, they had to redact it or you'd know it was bullshit from the jump.
And in the process, ignored the Senate access to that document.
You guys got Comer's number, right? How's this shit been going on this long? You don't have that fucker on speed dial?
That version redacted references to the alleged audio recordings between then Vice President Biden, Hunter Biden, and the foreign national.
Wow, so they were all on the call. I got to tell you, I've seen other reports about that, and I mean, I know we're going way back, and you haven't had time to read it more than 37 times, but that ain't at all what it said. They said that guy said he had multiple recordings of each of them, but not all of them together. It wasn't a fucking powwow. But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just keep shoveling the shit.
It also redacted references to text messages and financial records that allegedly exist.
I got to say, allegedly is the pack mule of this entire statement. They have loaded that donkey up with a bunch of shit
To prove the criminal act.
Boom. Prove it. Now, some of you are like, what criminal act? You're like, well, shit. The criminal act of this guy making the shit up that's got him going to jail.
Was done. Those redactions are
hey, man, look. I know you're a lot older than me. You don't have nearly as much time left as I do, but nobody really knows how much time they've got left on God's green earth. So can you like double time this or some shit like that? I don't want to have to click one of these YouTube buttons and speed you the fuck up, because wrap it up.
Obstructive conduct by the United States.
Terrible. The United States obstructing what in 2020?
Why? Because this was an unclassified.
Because we like you.
Document. It's not even marked law enforcement sensitive.
Yeah, well, it is stamped bullshit though. So, maybe that's why they couldn't find it. They're like, is there a classified document? No, it ain't classified. Is it sensitive? No, it ain't. I looked in the sensitive file. It ain't. Hey, man, check that pile of bullshit over there. Maybe somebody here it is. I found it. Somebody stamped bullshit right on top of it. That's good. And after perusing it for just a couple of minutes, I would like to say that it lives up to the hype, if I may say so my goddamn self. Okay.
And by the way,
oh, go ahead.
The Justice Department and FBI.
Man, I gotta say, I love the way he says department. You know what I mean? Department. Most people say department. Department. Come on.
Leaks exposed sources well before the 1023 became public. Now there's been allegations in the media that this 1023.
Sorry, but Gramps, I'm dozing off. allegations in the media, motherfucker, you got a copy of it.
consists of unverified information.
Well, as it would turn out, I don't want to get all fucking, Lake Wobegon on you, but narrator, as it would turn out, the whole thing would be a steaming, seeping, sweating, stinking pile of road apples. Okay.
That didn't stop the media's breathless reporting for years about the unverified and very famous Steele dossier.
Well, I mean, piss tapes are always going to, if it pees, it leads, I think. Is what they say. Isn't that what they say in the newspapers? If it pees, it leads.
But the Justice Department and the FBI have not told us what they did to investigate the 1023 document.
Well, guess what, Gramps? They gonna start right fucking now. 8 months from this very statement, they're gonna complete that investigation, and you ain't gonna like it, son. You are going to have a rough evening. You're gonna have a caught on the Bay Bridge after a large bowl of grape nuts and a hot pot of coffee moment. You're gonna be dealing with this for a while. This is one of them nights where you're gonna blame the toilet for the mistakes you are responsible for. This is a shithole of your own digging, young man. Okay, so see you later. This is this the other one? Yeah, that's her outside, and then it's him again, and then this, and then there's shit. Yeah. So let's just say, in case you're just showing up and you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, the FD 1023 that everybody was talking about, and all these that they were breathlessly reporting from the right wing, turned out to be a lie, and they knew that there was a problem with the guy's timeline and his story when they went to go re-interview him, so they took notes. And in the middle of lying again about stuff they knew was a lie, he made up brand new fucking lies. Which, after he had been reminded that lying to the FBI, especially as an informant, is a federal offense. And he was like, oh yeah? Hold my Smirnoff. And that guy's in a hearing, like, I'm pointing basically where the building is. It's right about there. It's over that way. That dude is about 12 miles from where I stand, that way. And they're having a detention hearing to set up how long and under what conditions Smirnoff is going to be kept in fucking jail. 1023 mules. So anyways, chat room, you guys know I love me a little history lesson. I just felt like we had to go back in the Wayback Machine as this story falls fucking apart, especially because we found out, and I think most of you may have seen it over the last couple of days. CSL, look at that. That's a pretty great picture of you. We found out it was bullshit, and we found out the guy was who he was. I always joked that it was Rudy Giuliani because, he was a trusted source, and this was like one of the ways that Trump was like funneling money to people who were, in a position to kind of shit talk the Bidens. That was the idea. And the idea, by the way, that this guy had been on the payroll for quite some time, and there was a huge uptick in the amount of money this motherfucker was making. And they were like, he's highly prized, very respected. How much money? Even the most respected. She even says it. Fucking Marge says, I think at one point, he's the most respected. Yeah, I'll bring that back up because you got to see this. The most respected FBI informant they have, which is just, I got to say, fucking lunacy. There is no singular most respected. Okay. Let's see this one.
Along with Hunter Biden, who took another $5 million in order to make the problems go away and get Victor Shokin fired. And he did it. And he's on video admitting he did it.
By the way, she's talking about Joe talking at the Council on Foreign Relations about doing a good job and doing stuff people couldn't, were saying couldn't be done.
He's on a recorded phone call, making sure it was done. And then on the 1023 form, it was redacted.
Oh, terrible.
But Chairman Comer saw it, and so did the minority ranking member, Representative Grassley. They saw it unredacted, where it said 17 audio recordings.
Yeah, 17 audio recordings. And you'd think, like, maybe the lie was there's only one. There aren't 17. Okay, I exaggerated. There's one, and it's 17 minutes long. You think that was what it was? I'm sorry. It's what? Oh, there aren't any. Okay.
Now, I think the FBI has those recordings, but the person that recorded them do, and the person that recorded them is the owner of Burisma. Because think about it. Here.
Oh, by the way, she says Zlovchevsky has these. This is also the thing the guy said. Zlovchevsky's waiting for a rainy day. And I got to tell you, it's been fucking pouring for, Boston Brian. Yeah, it's fucking flooding in this dude's living room. He's like, water up to here, his furniture's floating by. I'm waiting for a rainy day. Rainier than this. And in Russia, this is not the rain.
And the form also said on there that it's common practice in Ukraine and Russia to make bribes as part of their business deals. That's common practice here. I've never heard of that. We don't do that here. But they do it there. And so if you're bribing the vice president of the most powerful country on earth, you're going to keep record of your bribe.
Are you? This is her master criminal. It's pretty shitty audio. I don't know why, but he was, if you're bribing the vice president of the most powerful country on earth, you're going to keep evidence of your bribe. Are you though? Are you really? Oh, thank you, Barbara. I'm glad you enjoyed Ficus visiting. I will we'll give that to his dental fund.
That you can get what you're paying him for. So that guy recording these audio clips was a really smart thing for him to do. And so we need to find out, does he have those recordings? I don't think we're going to find that out. There's a war in Ukraine that I would argue our country is being involved in because our president is corrupt.
Okay, that's the other thing. This is months ago. She's arguing that the 1023 is proof that we're only involved in the Ukraine war not because Russia attacked fucking Ukraine, apropos of nothing, and certainly any of you NATO motherfuckers, it was NATO was putting too much pressure on Putin. He didn't have a choice. Go watch this stupid ass Tucker Carlson interview where this motherfucker's going back to the 7th century to argue the land is his, like he's fucking Hitler, on a Pervitin drip.
It was involved in this type of unbelievable so-called business deals. But I think the country deserves better. And if things were right, Joe Biden literally would have been hauled out of the White House in handcuffs.
Yes, that's right. If things were right, Joe Biden would have been hauled out of the White House in handcuffs over this shit. This is what she was saying based on the FD 1023. This is about the FD 1023. This is all the people gathering. This is all the news and these motherfuckers, right? Everybody at the time reporting this stuff, especially Fox. Yeah. I think the president directed his campaign aides to ramp up efforts to highlight the crazy shit that Trump says in public. Yes, I saw them say crazy shit on MSNBC.
That's their words. Our top informant, the best one we have.
Okay, wait. This is the top informant part. Listen to this.
They said that's their words. Our top informant, the best one we have.
Our top informant, the best one we have. That's what they said. Okay, it will shock no one that nobody at the fucking FBI even talks like that. Who's our best informant? What are you talking about? I mean, who's the best informant we got? You mean the one we've gotten the most arrests off of? Or do you mean, I mean, it's kind of, depends on what you're looking for. I mean, obviously a single person that stops a serial killer that's murdered dozens of people, and probably, that's pretty high up there, whatever. Do you mean like inside, like one of Ted Nugent's friends that reports on the Michigan militias or that? You know, I mean, there's a lot of them. So it's, I mean, category. What's your standard? Is what I'm asking. What do you mean? The best one. He's the best. When we asked them what they said to this informant, they literally sang, "You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing." Yeah, just fucking stupid. Just fucking dumb. And now the guy, this fucking cretin is bragging will result in Joe Biden being dragged out of the White House in handcuffs. Right? That was the story. That's what she just said. If things were right, I don't know what the fuck that means. If things were right, this would have gotten him dragged out. This is 8 months ago. And now this motherfucker was dragged out of Harry Reid Airport in handcuffs, and he's going to fucking jail. Now, let's see. There are a couple of things. I'm going to grab some footage. By the way, like you guys, hit the like while you're at it. Love you guys for that. Appreciate it. This one, hold on. There's so much to cover. Jesus Christ. Every time. Okay, we have, all right. Truckers, oh, this is the trucker calling. This has got to be fake, right? There's so many of these things where I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, you gotta be shitting me, right? These people don't actually care about this. They don't actually think this is a win. Give me 1 second, and because I lost one of my clips and I want to bring it. Oh, sorry, I just saw another one. God damn, it's punishing how much stupid shit there is out there, especially today, and in large part because the Republicans are desperately trying to do cleanup and distraction, both from the Alexander Smirnoff being arrested and Trump and his getting booed over shoes and all that shit, right? Okay. Can we do a Wayback Machine again? I don't know if this is, I don't know if we're related to this or not, but ladies and gentlemen, hold on. I don't even remember the fucking, does anybody remember the Growing Pains fucking theme song? Like, I get silver spoons caught in my head when I even think about it, because I didn't really watch it, so it wasn't my thing or whatever. But this is Kirk Cameron from WatchBrave.com. I guess he's trying to get everybody to get behind one of the Disney films, the one about Merda and Scotland and the bear and all that, and the one with Billy Connolly as her father and the long hair and the girl who does archery. And he's just trying to get that. Yeah. 700,000 trucks. Oh, we'll deal with the 700,000 trucks in just a minute as well. But he goes, Kirk Cameron explains why the church and family are the foundations that Marxists want to destroy. Okay. You do realize you're doing more damage than they could ever do, right? Okay. Let's find out.
So I guess the theory of the case is you're saying that Mao Zedong, from the French Revolution to the Bolsheviks to Mao Zedong to the modern neo-Marxists, they've always focused on the family and on getting to the children.
Yeah, you got to take out the family and the church. And what we see in our day is,
well, I mean, the Russians had their own Orthodox church. They established a religion, which we don't do in the United States, and that's where you taking out the church. Everybody who isn't the state church felt like they were being taken out by those organizations. As far as Mao Zedong, he was embarrassed of Chinese culture and was chasing Soviet clout. So, and yeah, no None of the churches are in danger. Here's the problem. Here's your problem, Kirk, if I may. It's not that the church has been removed from schools. It doesn't mean God has been taken from the classroom. None of that is true. What has happened is assholes like you have taken over the churches, have muscled your way in, made them little political fiefdoms in an attempt to push conservative ideology, even when it doesn't line up with whatever religion you actually espouse. And in doing so, you have driven normal people away from the churches because you're fucking annoying and gross and mean-spirited and judgmental and sick and all that shit.
We talk about pluralism and we talk about democracy. Our founders were not about democracy.
They were. I mean, it's a constitutional republic, but we choose our leaders through democracy.
Pure democracy is mob rule.
All right, fuck off. No, it isn't. Mob rule is not. Look, you can't use A-B logic like this. I'm sick of this shit. This is like these taxation or is theft fuckers. Oh, yeah? All right, well, then if you don't pay your taxes, then you don't. Driving on roads you didn't help pay for is stealing from everybody else. The fuck out. I don't understand. But if democracy is mob rule, then mob rule is democracy. So if a mob just does something, why don't we just put up with it in the United States? Why don't we just let it fucking happen? If mob rule is democracy, then why did we see January 6th as an attack on democracy, you dumb motherfucker? They were a mob. They were trying to rule. So stupid.
They were about a constitutional republic.
Yes, that chooses leaders through democracy. One man, one vote.
And there was a set of values that they understood would...
Yes. Two of them, primarily, the First and Second Amendment, distinctly, and the First Amendment itself was a fuck you to the first two commandments. And don't get me started on the Second Amendment and thou shalt not kill.
Undermine people's ability for self-government. We've got to be able to get back to this and understand what our country is really all about.
I see. So what it is it's the electoral college is how we choose our leaders, and self-governance is just your own personal sovereign citizen that you're wrestling with all the time. That's really what they were talking about. Was the Constitution isn't really about establishing the right to vote or how the votes are counted or any of that kind of shit. It's really just kind of like a knockoff Tony Robbins, power of positive thinking document.
And if you can take out the family, then you've got access to the kids. So
most of the time, families are how kids are made in the first place. I mean, if you take out all the families, you're going to, you know what I mean? It's kind of uprooting the whole tree, and therefore you're going to run out of apples. You know what I'm saying? Also, why would Democrats want to get rid of the family? There are little factories to create babies for us to drink spine juice out of them with a straw.
Take out God, take out the family.
You can't take out God. You can't actually do it. If God exists, you can't. You fucking can't. Again, this goes into that weird trap of maybe this is God's plan and you just don't fucking like it. Right.
And what they really want to do is not just eliminate them.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to. All right. First of all, imagine someone going, I will eliminate God. And obviously, they're talking about the belief in God. If you don't believe in God, then you think the belief in it is false or fraudulent or an excuse or whatever the fuck. And so you can eliminate the belief. But you can't. None of them are going. You'd have to believe in God to believe that you're going to be able to get rid of God. And then you'd have to be the biggest ego fucking maniacal psychopath in the world,
and have a purely secular society. They want to replace them. So you
replace God with Planet Fitness. I think pretty much Planet Fitness and malls. Yeah, Baal, mall, God. They're all kind of one word.
The power of parents, and that's what we're seeing with the government now and in schools and gender transformations and all this stuff without parental
transformations. Really, what do the kids do? They go into a fucking cocoon,
consent, and
then spring happens and their wings come out,
and then you replace the ultimate authority in their life, which is no longer God, but
I got to tell you, brother, real quick, before you go on, that it's like 4 veins on your neck that are just in talking are straining like holy shit. I gotta say, I would just go. I don't know if you believe in doctors. I don't know what the fuck that part of it. Did he say God butt?
Gender transformations and all this stuff without parental consent, and then you replace the ultimate authority in their life, which is.
See what I mean? Is it just me, or is the neck fucking? I at this point I think this is an alien wearing Kirk Cameron's skin.
Is no longer God butt.
God butt, yes. Well, if you can't worship God butt, or as I think in the original Aramaic, I think it was Al Pacino who said it back, "Oh, fetish!" Right? You know, he was like one of the high priests of God butt.
Civil government. Government is a tool that should be a servant to bring about good blessings for people.
Good blessings. Yeah, the blessings. And today, we bless the people of Cincinnati with a bridge that will not fall into the water in what the Lord would wish upon. And the Lord did bless them with Social Security benefits that will allow them in certain circumstances to pay forward into a college or non-college vocational degree in some sort of... Lord, send down your blessing of a tax break upon them so that they may use this money in their wisdom to make their own fucking roads. Lord.
Not the tyrant God that enslaves people.
Huh? You mean because slavery is okay in the Bible, or it's approved of?
How long did you work in the television industry in Hollywood until it dawned on you one day that, hey, maybe this is not my home?
Yeah. Well,
it was my third audition after I did my series where people were like, "You kind of suck. I don't know what we're supposed to do with you now. But thanks for coming in."
Because that kind of talk right there. Look, Rob Reiner, and people say he's look, and I realize the audience is going to melt down, but people that know him say he's a decent guy, and
he is clearly a decent guy. Yes, absolutely.
Clearly,
he very well may be. I've never met him, but
he has worked up.
Really, you never got called in on one of his big projects. Princess Bride. You didn't get a chance to read. Maybe that's when he realized when you didn't get a chance to read for Vicente in that.
I mean, he's triggered by this whole Christian nationalist thing.
Never get involved with the Cameron when death is on the line.
He's dedicated his life. He's doing a great podcast on the Kennedy assassination, but he's dedicated his life, this film, to coming after Christian nationalism. And what you're saying is the kind of thing to trigger him. So how long did you work actually in the system, in Hollywood?
The system. Hey, I got news for you, asshole. There is no system. There's no system. Hollywood is not a thing. Hollywood is the name of a part of Los Angeles. There's a sign on the fucking hillside, but there are a myriad of production houses making movies, jockeying for screen space or stream space now, and that have been fighting against each other to bully each other out of the stars that people want to see back and forth like any fucking industry. There's no cabal. There's no fucking secret meeting. And I know what most of you say. That's how we know you're not an A-lister, because you didn't get invited to the big baby eating things. And I'm like, well then, fine. Oh, that's right. I am a year older than Kirk Cameron. I am? Really? He's 53. Whew, okay.
Hollywood and TV. Before it dawned upon you, your great awakening that, hey, maybe this is not my path.
Well, I was watching some of my own work, and I realized maybe I'm not cut out for acting. Sorry. He was watching the dailies for Left Behind 2 Tribulation Force, and he was like, fuck, what the fuck was that? I don't know, maybe I can work at a yogurt store or some shit like that. I don't know, a real job or whatever, a farm. Is that what, and that what actors that suck do after they leave? They go get a farm and some animals and make people believe that they're just going back. I mean, look at that. That's just fucking, I don't even know. This is worse than the fucking banana video. I don't know. This is horrifying.
Yeah.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hal, what banana video? Dare we, CSL? Dare we? All right.
Well, I never wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be like Ben Carson, and this thing sort of, I slipped.
Slow? Sorry. You wanted to be a doctor? You didn't want to be a doctor. You wanted to play doctor with a banana.
And I've since learned that when you really look at the evidence, the truth is it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to believe in God. You've really got...
Yeah. I mean, you know, while we've been sitting here on stools for some fucking reason, like someone stole our lakeside bar, when we could have just been sitting on regular chairs and maybe brought the camera down a touch to get the same basic skyline. I don't even know why I'm complaining about this. Someone stole our table.
Got to ignore the facts.
Yeah, you got to ignore the facts. And the facts are, bananas are your friend.
Funny how we equate the word atheism with intellectual.
Yeah, it's so weird that we do that. It's the same thing, you know, you hear all the time.
Exact opposite. That's right.
It is the exact opposite. They don't even think. Atheists don't think. You think of intellectualism. They can't. They don't even use Intel processors.
Look, I have an intellectually stimulating theory. It's my theory of where the soda can may have come from.
It evolved from cupping your hands together and then eventually using clay and then putting something together and making metal steins. And then they had metal steins that were a lid. And then they came across an idea where you could seal a beverage in something, cork it shut, and it would stay longer. And then they try to find ways to process those things. And originally started with tin, and they realized that the mercury and the sealant around the top of it was unhealthy, so they moved to aluminum, and then that was a clean way of getting the beverage. And then they initially had a tab that pulled off, and people had a tendency to take the tab and put it inside, and they would drink, and then they would choke on the fucking thing, so they made a pull tab that just is automatic. And basically it evolved from cupping your hands in water. Doc in Paradise has never seen the banana video. Oh, Doc in Paradise, come along. Come along. Join us, won't you? Share the show. There you go.
Billions of years ago, there was a big bang in space. Nobody knows what caused the big bang. It just...
Well, it was obviously a hand job. Because it was a big bang, but it was right out of the gate. It was first date stuff, so it wasn't obviously going to be a... Never mind.
Happened. And from this bang issued this huge rock on top of...
Say Big Bang again.
The rock was found a sweet, brown, bubbly substance.
Ew.
And over millions of years, aluminum crept up the side, formed itself in a can, then a lid, and then a tab. And then millions of years later, red paint...
You're so good. This is so... I get where you're going. I mean, I see where this is going. I mean, it's a little... It telegraphs. It telegraphs, but I get where you... It'd be a lot easier to sit if we had a table or a stool or something. If we were just on the ground. Because it's a little weird. I don't even know what to do with my left knee. It's just awkward.
Blue paint, white paint fell from the sky and formed itself into the words, 12 fluid ounces. Do not litter. You're saying, what are you doing? You're insulting my intellect. And
no, you're not. No, you're not. Real quick. Let's be abundantly clear. You are not insulting my intellect. You are insulting your own. You are being both. It's amazing because you're being dumb and a manipulative prick at the same time.
So I am. Because we know if the can is made, there must be a maker. If it's designed, there must be a designer. To believe the soda can...
Well, it kind of evolved, over time.
Happened by chance is to move into an intellectual free zone. It's to have an echo when you think. It's to have brain liposuction. Hold this, Kirk.
Oh, dear. Hold this, Kirk. You're lucky you said that about the can and not the banana. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes for your viewing enjoyment. One of the dumbest analogies ever presented on what's left of God's green earth.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find...
Oh, I do. Believe me. Every time I shower. Listen, real quick, just before we start this, you do realize bananas didn't start out this way. Bananas were potato-like. They were brown. They were squat. They tasted kind of flat. They weren't sweet at all. Just saying, this isn't how God intended the banana to be. I'm just telling you. All right.
The far side.
Oh, somebody actually say, I'll bite what's the banana video. You're finding out the hard way, aren't you? Here we go.
There are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll...
It's always, I mean, and when is it not? This is never not going to be fun, CSL. This is never going to, every time I see this, it's like I'm seeing it for the first time.
Find on the far side, there are 3 grooves. On the close side, 2 grooves.
Yeah, I got a groovy banana holding hand. I got it, yeah.
The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other.
Have Kirk look at your asshole. Sorry. You'll notice, Kirk, that this banana perfectly fits in your backside. It's perfectly lubricated thanks to spit the Lord has given me.
You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with...
Well, Del Monte.
The non-slip surface.
Well, it depends. I mean, again, he also made, petroleum products in his vast wisdom.
It has outward indicators of inward contents. Green,
Boy, does it.
Too early. Yellow, just right. Black, too late.
Yeah, black. Sorry, black people. Too late. What's Ray Comfort trying to say right now? He's uncomfortable. Black people show up at the party and he's like, too late. We got to go. Pack it up. Honey, get the car. Nah, I'm not going to do this. Nah, black people, black fellas all around the place. I got to get out of here. Nice. I don't care. Nah, I don't know. I know who Rachel Dolezal is. I don't even want to see her. Nah, I mean, yeah, too late.
Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll
Why bother?
find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top. So God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face.
Well, I mean, maybe you should caress it first or something. You just can't just yank on the goddamn thing. I mean, try a little tenderness, as the man says. Also, by the way, bananas open from the other end. I'm just saying the best way to open the banana is actually from the other end. You'll find the contents don't squirt in your face. Kirk.
You'll find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations.
But also will make the evil slip and fall.
Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand.
The next part might be a little difficult for some of our viewers. If you're sensitive, it might be a good time to turn away. Maybe bury your head in a couch cushion or go take a dump, because this is not going to be good. Here it comes. This is, he's going to show you how to eat it. And then all you're going to think about is the contents don't squirt in your face.
Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for the human mouth.
Notice he didn't do that for long. Can I just tell you that even Ray Comfort knew he was setting himself up for the internet is forever. So he goes like, even this one, no, you're not freeze framing me, you fucking evil bastards.
Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for the human mouth. It's chewy, easy to digest. and it's even curved toward the face to make the whole process so much easier.
Yeah, because God knew that man was basically lazy. Rod, don't get too excited, man.
Seriously, Kirk, the whole of
Seriously, hold my banana.
creation testifies to the genius of God's creative hand. It
Oh yeah. Here, try these bananas.
absolutely does. You think of the human eye.
Think of the human eye. Like if you squirt into the eye, you know what? Let's not get into anybody's Pornhub search results too heavily here. Those of you who in the chat room is that's your first introduction to the banana video. It's been a rough couple of bananas, by the way. This is filth, right? Exactly. It's been a rough bunch of bananas for Kirk over the years. But now, years later, he's sitting next to someone only slightly less disgusting than Ray Comfort, Steve Bannon.
It has 40,000 nerve endings and
Yeah, I can't show you what he's actually showing Steve at this point. Praise the Lord and pass
into
the
it,
bananas.
got on growing pains, and by the time I was 20, I had this great big career, and I got married. After that,
After I got married, I don't know, everything just went to shit. She's just bitching all the time, and I'm like, when's your next job? And I'm like, maybe I don't want to be on another series. Maybe I'm a serious actor. And she's laughing at me on the phone. I walk in, she's laughing at me on the phone, and she's like, her fucking. Then I find out she's cheating on me with somebody, and the fucking ringtone is the Growing Pains theme, and I'm like, Alan Thicke.
I wanted to just be about right things and good things. Whether it was in acting or not, it didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, well. And that lasted about 8 months, and then you started doing the Left Behind movies.
So I started becoming a student of history and
Jesus,
understanding how principles work out in
how does that? Chat, you guys don't know, do you? I have no idea. How do principles work out? I think they go to the gym after school. I think. Sorry.
In real life through education and family and civil government and things like that.
Stuff.
And let me just say, with regard to Rob Reiner and anybody else who's really triggered over some of these labels that people are putting on others, many people have just been duped by other people's description of their own opponents, and they make them look like they're these freaky, weird. I mean, this is the news.
Hey, asshole! Look who you're on the War Room talking to Steve Bannon, one of the architects of January 6th. You fucking chimp.
All the time, right? You make your opponents look like complete crazy people who.
Really? Not you, Steve. Obviously, I'm speaking in the euphemistic you. You. And by you, I mean them. Them talking about us. I don't mean you. You, obviously. When I say you, I mean Rob Reiner.
Don't know what they're talking about. And
I know how bananas were modified by human cultivation. I do know that. Which is not how God wanted it. Or was it?
you get everybody to worry about them. And so he may be legitimately concerned about
Joe
this.
Joe Scarborough this morning referred to MAGA as freaks, weirdos, insurrectionists, and a death cult. You mean something like that?
I mean, something like that. And so there may be people who are legitimately afraid of that which they don't understand.
Oh, is that, you mean like how you feel about people that read or?
And it's so hard to have respectful discourse with people today.
It is. It is. You know why? Because fuck you. Sorry, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I am capable of having respectful discourse with anybody, really. Well, I mean, now almost anybody. I mean, there's obviously some folks that have crossed the line. If I had stumbled upon, Bundy at one of his low moments, it would have been cinder block time, and I think you guys understand that.
Because everybody's
You
looking
think
for a
Rob Reiner?
soundbite.
You think Rob Reiner and the guys in Hollywood don't understand it, or
The guys in Hollywood, the guys, and he means, of course, Jews.
they think they understand it thoroughly and they fear it?
I think they
Are Jews. I think they're all Jews, is what I'm trying to say, Steve. And what I think you're trying to say is, is something about, is basically Jew to Jew to Jew to Jew, Jew. That's what I'm trying. Is that landing?
I don't think they're smart folks. I don't think they lacked.
Well, yeah, Ashkenazis, yeah. I mean, technically speaking, is that what you're talking about? By the way, this is what he's talking about.
Understanding of what this movement is.
yeah.
No, they understand. And again, are you what you say you're about, or are you what you do? Right? I mean, there's a crisscross there. There's some people you might think, here's a great example. Steve, friend of yours, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein put out a lot of women-forward movies. He was, in many ways, one of the producers in town that a female, like an actress with a star vehicle, could take it to the Weinstein brothers, and they could get it done, and it would tell a great story about a woman who did a great thing, or a great character that had strength and resilience and all this stuff. The problem is he fucking tried to have sex with you and make you bend over a desk to get your movie done because he was a fucking scumbag. Meanwhile, the lovely people like Rob Reiner does movies that you think are terrible because he's, I guess he's making something that you get offended by, or he doesn't like your group. But the movies he makes in general, if you watch them, make people laugh, have a great, a generalized good humor about them, and have, I think, a generalized happy, positive moral to the story overall. It doesn't celebrate anti-heroes and stuff like that. There's no sort of Rob Reiner version of Breaking Bad that I know of. Yeah. I'm sorry, Treva, if I messed up while you were painting.
But what I'm saying is that there are moles planted within the good groups that are then used to distract everybody and represent the good group.
Are they better than the good group, or are they worse than the good? Oh, I see. You're just a lunatic. Sorry, my mistake. FBI Jan 6 something.
And it's a bogus group. There's freaks and psychos out there for sure, but they don't
Thanks. I feel seen.
represent me and my ilk. I mean, I'm all about. I'm hanging with Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and William Wilberforce and William Bradford. I mean,
and Willem Dafoe.
And I know millions of other people who are too.
Pretty good.
No, you're not hanging with them. You're not hanging with them. They have been dead a long time. You're a fucking moron. That's silly. Can you all right, chat room. Can you imagine yourself saying, "Hey, I'm the kind of person. I'm hanging with MLK. I'm hanging with John F. Kennedy. I'm hanging with President Garfield." Not the president of the United States. I mean, the episode of Garfield where he was president.
Company.
Yeah, I want to be with them. I want to learn from them.
They've been dead a long time. They're dead. You're a crazy person.
What would you say if Rob Reiner was here right now? What would you say to him?
Oh,
hire me. Really, just anything. I'd be glad to just, I could even, do you do paid extras or whatever? Like, I wouldn't mind being like an upgraded extra where like just an under 5. I would be fine or whatever. Just, I love your work. Please hire me.
First of all,
he's a Jew, and there's no saving those people, obviously.
I
mean, it is the one area where I, Kirk Cameron, agree with Rashida Tlaib. We have a common enemy in these people, right, Steve? Mr. Seinfeld money.
Thank you for his work, and then also just talk about maybe just on a personal human level, like what's important to me.
Oh, you'd bore him. It's a great strategy.
And I bet we'd have a lot in common in terms of.
in terms of beard care.
What's important to us. The question then becomes, how do we get there? What are really the right...
Where is he? Question, Steve, I have is, how do I get to talk to Rob Reiner? Do you have his number? Would it be okay if I just called him up directly, or should I just drive by his house? Do you have his address?
strategies and values that will actually achieve those goals? And then I think we can have a real conversation, and I bet we could hang out, have a beer and a steak together, and end up being friends.
You wish.
Such a great way to segue. I totally disagree. I think that you don't have the same end goals, and he knows that, and we know that. And this is not.
You have inside intel that I know not of.
No, not inside intel. I'm just saying for what they do. This is an unbridgeable gap. This is one side is going to win here, and one side is going to lose. We can't talk this out. This is not a conversation.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna side with the group that showers. Steve, I gotta say, if just for the lack of septicemia on the battlefield, I think you're gonna, the ability to wash might come in handy at some point. Needless to say, these people are fucking crazy. And I would say Kirk Cameron in that moment is trying to exemplify his own, stunted version of Christianity. Yeah? And it's adorable. But Steve isn't. Steve's a fucking... the whole purpose of Steve's show is to create enemies where there were none. Couple of things. Okay, first of all, let me just show you the state of affairs over there. By the way, this is Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, Venmo, and super chats. Appreciate it very much. Lizzie Dog, thank you. Oh my God, this gets more hilarious each time. Thank you, Hal. I'd be curious what Ficus thinks. Ficus does not. He has a thing against Kirk Cameron movies. I don't mind the TV show or whatever, because I used to listen here. When I was growing up, I had growing pains. Mostly it was a teething issue. My gums, in my family, we have really strong gums. A lot of people think my teeth fell out. Truth is, they never came in. And they was fighting and all this stuff. But I heard there was a show called Growing Pains, and I was like, I want to watch this. So we hooked up the TV set and plugged it in, and it would work about twice a month. And I would stand up there on top of it when I was little and hold on for dear life to the rabbit ears on the top of that while somebody stuck my mom plugged me in. She'd stick an electrical cord up my ass, and that would feed enough electricity to the rabbit ears so that the signal from the show would just travel over the hillsides and through the woods and come to our TV set so we could watch 15 minutes of some show. And I tried at one point to watch a piece of the show, but I was standing on top of the set. I looked down, and the cord came out, and the electrical charge, I guess I was grounded or something. Just there's this big blue arc right from my keister hole right to that wire and shot me out there into the chicken coop, where I lived comfortably for several days. So that's a true story. So I never even got to see the show or whatnot, but I did go. I went to a church at one point where they had on Wednesday nights, they'd play them Left Behind movies. And I got to tell you, I dozed off right about the time the Antichrist showed up because he was so fucking boring, man. I always thought the Antichrist was going to be cool and look all that. He was just a business guy in a suit. I was like, what the fuck is that? Shouldn't he be all like fucking rock and roll? Jesus Christ, these people are always telling me he looked like Gene Simmons, who is a Jew. So I get where they're coming from, but ultimately this dude just came out and he looked like a fucking hedge fund dude or some shit. So usually I'd either pass out or get Betty Sue, and we'd head up there behind the baptism trough and play hide the communion wafer. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only? All right, I'm the only one who knows about that game? Something along those lines. All right. All right. So let me introduce you. See this guy? He's doing very well. Then he looked happy. Apparently, this is on Fox Business. Andy McCarthy discussed the impact of Trump's legal woes on Nikki Haley's 24 chances and the expensive appeal process for the former president. It says, Trump is imploding. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney warns.
He's facing Andy McCarthy, a great lawyer in his own right, knows those challenges very well. The former Assistant U.S. Attorney, Fox News contributor. Andy, she is kind of, without saying it in so many words, hanging her political hat on that possibility. This guy could implode, and I'm your backup. How realistic is that, the implosion part, that these cases drag on, he's so distracted.
And also, why do you have Q-tips wrapped around your ears?
He could even be facing a conviction in a criminal case that might make trial light of day. What do you make of all that?
Well, I think he is imploding, Neil. So,
That's not what Neil wanted to hear. Andy, come on, man. You can't do, and you also, I'm just telling you, I know you like wearing the grip-on workout earbuds. That's fine. And I know you sit in front of your shelf and whatever, and that's fine. By the way, the big wall unit, are you in Europe right now? Because that looks like a big European unit, if you know what I'm saying. But that, whatever that is that's on top of there, you look like an old version of Lando Calrissian's robot on his way to a funeral. I'm just saying, am I the only one that sees that? All right.
we haven't even gotten to the criminal cases yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in very dire straits as far as these civil judgments are concerned. Even if you think, as I do, that there are severe questions about the second E. Jean Carroll case in terms of the exorbitant penalty of $83.3 million that was imposed there, and then the just.
Well, that was the second one. He could have gotten off with $5 million if he just kept his fucking mouth shut.
It's mind-boggling. Totally out of proportion with the wrong alleged fine or disgorgement payment that Judge Engoron ordered last week in the...
No. Anybody who watched the Sandy Hook shit with Alex Jones know that Trump got off easy.
In the civil fraud case. Even if you think that there are significant questions, at least about the damages on appeal, appeal is not free. It's not like a criminal case where you automatically get to appeal. In appeal, you have to actually be able to post the assets at interest in order to go forward with the appeal.
Uh-huh.
He was found liable in the E. Jean Carroll case on January 26th, which means next week he's got to file a notice of appeal. You get about 30 days. And the question is, that's going to cost him about $90 million.
It's so good. It's so good. Can we you guys just want to let that roll over us for a second? It's popcorn time. Come on, baby. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Yeah, just going to cost him $90 million to lose again. Hey, it's okay though. He's got a great lawyer. He's got Alina Habba. Come on now. Right? There she is. Look at that. You are the sunshine of my life. Trump verdict. Nothing to worry about for New York businesses. Hochul. Everybody's leaving. Nobody wants to be there anymore, except Fox News.
Westchester in the Hudson Valley, even his iconic $348 million Trump Tower, which by...
Look at her fucking face melt. Wait, but let's watch how this video starts. She's like, he's losing this and this and this and this and this.
The Post writing that he's got properties in Manhattan, Westchester, in the Hudson Valley, even his iconic $348 million Trump Tower, which, by the way, I think that's undervaluing Trump Tower, could be on the chopping block.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good you bring that up. Barbara says, Hal, any ideas where Trump gets funding? Yeah, he's been selling properties.
Do you see that happening over the next 25 days?
No. No.
So he'll just write a check, Alina?
I'm not going to get into privileged information, but there will be a bond and there will be no issues with that. So that's all I'll say on that.
Okay.
So somebody else is going to carry his bond because he's going to show up and if he has to pay it, he has to pay it himself, but he can find somebody else who will bond it on some percentage of it. What
are your grounds on appeal here?
Mm-hmm. mean Jew with his weird lady clerk and black lady. That's our big three. That's the three.
What aren't my grounds on appeal is a
Yeah, totally. I mean, at this point, why just tell them? You know what I mean? Just like, I got this appeal and I got this appeal, and they can just suck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? I mean, what did I go to law school for? Did I go to law? I did go to. What was I doing? I was going to law school. Right. Anyways, never mind.
better question. Where do you begin? I mean,
start with, hey, here's a good idea. Fucking one.
We could start with all the things we talked about, Rob, over the past 6 months.
Yeah, they didn't work. All the things you talked about over the last 6 months got you a guilty plea, fuckhead.
These cases, in this case in particular, we saw a completely bipartisan situation become absolutely toxic and un-American.
And that's what it was. I'm going to go on judicial toxicity.
Gag orders placed on attorneys where we couldn't put things on.
I'm appealing your verdict because your verdict is toxic. Does that work? That he didn't. What do you mean I didn't file it in time?
On the record, I still have that gag order in place. So does the president. You know, the judge here ignored the statute of limitations limitation that was put in place by the appellate division that reversed.
He ignored the limitation of the limitation? Terrible.
Him.
What a dick.
There are.
You mean the part where he was guilty, but you think you ran out the clock? Hey, Dum Dum, real quick. There's a special circumstance in that while he was president, there was a belief that he could not be indicted or could not be charged with any of this stuff or could not be sued by the state during the time he was president. So the statute of limitations that applies to everybody else, none of us get a period of no-go where it's pulled like a gap out of that time where we're like, oh, I was in the White House, can't fucking, as long as I'm here, you can't do shit. And the statute of limitations runs out in 3 years, even though I'm guilty. You can't do it. It was just what he was counting on.
This is everyone who said there was nothing done wrong, including Deutsche Bank, including Zurich, who still works with the Trump organization.
Deutsche doesn't? That's weird. Why didn't you bring that up?
Listen, while I understand it was the intent of the Democrat-funded AG to try and put Trump out of business, it's just not going to happen. And
it did happen. It happened. It's happening right now. He literally, during the appeal process, can't run his business. He's got to have this arbitration person always around, like fucking legal training wheels.
And that's probably devastating to her. And, you know, that's unfortunate.
No, I don't think she didn't seem devastated. I saw her. She didn't seem. Did chat room? Did Letitia James seem devastated after the $355 million thing? No, did she? I'm fairly certain. Yeah. Yeah. No, there was nothing about it that I thought was devastating. She didn't look devastated. Yeah, at all. She didn't even look miffed. Weird.
But even with this ridiculous verdict, which frankly, in my opinion, makes the intent and the political motivation very loud and clear here, we will win on appeal. And
yeah, everybody loses the first time, Alina. You know, that's what love is like.
Things will be reversed because there were items that should never have even come into this trial. As you know, we lost on summary judgment before we even walked into the court. And
well, yeah, because it was on paper. It wasn't like you could argue emotionally. Like the apartment isn't 30,000 square feet. That's a summary judgment thing. You can't scream it into existence. You can't yell until it is. Thanks, Sarah.
It was a damages trial, much like the Carroll case. And
right, because there was no question that he did it.
It's insane, but the insanity makes it easy to appeal.
It is. That's the thing, is that it's just crazy. Guys, the whole insanity. It's all insanity. This insane, and it's insane nonsense. It's nonsense, guys. It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
It doesn't make it right, But as a person involved, I can tell you that the appellate record will be hefty.
Alina.
Hefty. Really? You mean it'll be in a hefty bag because it's garbage?
On Friday night after the ruling, when emotions were running high,
Yeah, when you were mad and yelling, you didn't seem like you were excited to possibly win.
Understandably, you said, quote, "I think the biggest message I can give the American people tonight is that he's not going to get away with it. Letitia James is not going to get away with this. The Biden administration is not going to get away with it."
They kind of, well, and it turns out it was your boss that didn't get away with it. That's the thing. Your boss was the one trying to get away with it.
What would you say to Letitia James if you ran into her on the street?
Before or after she snatches her wig? What are you talking about? What would you say to her on the street? Nothing.
And you weren't a lawyer in this case.
I wasn't a lawyer in this case. I was a normal person.
Yep. You're just Alina Habba.
I can't say that on national television.
Because if I said it, you'd realize I would just go, I don't give a shit. I don't represent that guy. Who gives a fuck? He's nasty. I met him at a party, tried to grab me by the pussy. This guy's, no, fuck Trump. If I wasn't his attorney, I'd go, you go, girl, I think is what that she'd probably say.
I would honestly, at this point, she's in so deep. Her press conference says it all. I would tell her what to show me that no one is above the law and start applying the law to her own. That's what I would.
To her own? What do you mean? Like she like to throw her kids in jail, or?
Would say, because it's very clear her animus, her chip on her shoulder, her political motivation is ruining our country, much like a lot of DAs and AGs. And I would tell her, why don't you have some dignity for your role as the Attorney General in New York and start taking.
And she'd go, ma'am, what's your actual reasoning behind your critique in this situation? I mean, do you work for Mr. Trump? You don't. All right. Well, have you read any of the evidence in this? Because you're not a lawyer in this case, so you haven't had access to this. So you could kind of assume that we know what we're talking about. And if you have read it, you'd know what he was guilty of, clearly. I mean, if you don't represent him, you don't have to argue on his behalf. So
taking care of your state
Alina,
instead of targeting political people.
Political people.
Since you hooked on with the former president.
Hooked on? Is that a squirrely way of saying hooked up? Ugh.
And started representing him. Your career has skyrocketed.
Yeah, you've gone from ambulance chaser to losing real money.
I think Alina Habba is now, it's a household name, really.
It is. It is literally, yeah. Your name is used in such common usage in most houses that it's kind of like whatever the town you're in, the restaurant with the D food listing that everybody jokes about never going to, or when you're driving, like, we're heading to Bangles, and you're like, that joke or whatever. She's the lawyer equivalent of that. So, yeah.
But you're young in your career. How concerned are you
that your life is over, that after all this loss, no one will ever hire you again, and you'll be stuck on OnlyFans?
About what this could mean for your reputation down the road?
As a loser. I mean that's what he means, as a loser.
In terms of what? I think.
Well, there are a lot of attorneys out there that no longer want to represent the former president, right or wrong. I'm not casting judgment, right or wrong, because of the implications it has for their careers. And
yeah, but you're going to stick with him, aren't you? Stand by your man.
You've got a bright future, seemingly.
Give him $300 million in losses and get cross with anyone who questions you.
Yes. I have to tell you the truth. I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm so proud of the work that I've done. And
could you say it if you didn't? I mean, honestly, is that a question you can actually answer?
any attorney who actually reads transcripts and looks at the rulings that we got before we got into court, evidentiary rulings, things like that, losses that have happened, and we've had wins, many wins, but no.
Yeah, huge wins, giant wins. And by we, I mean Ivanka. But
nobody reports them, but the losses.
Yeah, nobody reports the big wins. Now's your chance, though, right? Come on. Don't even tell us about we know the rest of the shit. Tell us about one of the big wins. Yeah, that should be easy, right? They're huge. How could you miss them? Tell us all about it. Give it a shot. Come on. Like when you you got the better we're almost there was a
that have happened are not a result of the facts not being on our side or bad lawyering. They are a result of the fact that he is the leading candidate for the Republican Party.
Also, it's his fault. I see. But yeah, enough about. I know why you lost the money or whatever. But tell us about the wins. You just said nobody's reporting on them. Whip it out.
Frankly, for president in general. So I can say that, look, trolls will be trolls, Rob. And
yeah, I hear you, sister.
Would never change a thing. I am proud of the work I've done.
Yeah, see, I got to say, any normal person looks back at anything they do and goes, oh, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I could fix, but overall, I think we're headed in the right direction. I think that's the reasonable thing. It's like telling somebody you're behind them 100%. First of all, you can't. You need at least 20% just to fucking get oxygen into your lungs and food into your mouth and shit out of your body without it coming out down your pants leg. You need 20% of yourself just to operate your physical person on the earth plane. And then another 20% if you have a relationship and family and that kind of stuff, and another 20% if you have a job and all that kind of. So if you really want to be honest with your friend, you go, hey man, I'm behind you 18%. That's what I got left over, and it's all yours.
And it is truly an honor to work for a former president and
a sitting former president. Yeah, because he doesn't stand a lot because it's the weird shoes.
Future president again. So
a future president again.
For anybody else that has an issue with that can't see through that, you're just.
Oh, I can see through it. I mean, I can see through it. You don't have to worry about me seeing through it. I think you have to kind of worry about Melania seeing through it, but.
You're not looking at the big picture here. We're changing the country and fixing.
Yeah. Stop focusing on the minutia of the, $355 million loss and look at the big picture. The shoes sold out and were on eBay within 2 hours.
The country, and I'm proud to be part of that mission.
And that mission, of course, that I'm not really getting paid for. Oh boy. Did he evict her from the Mar-a-Lago? I don't know. I think I can't remember it. Like she's living in Melania's living in Baltimore, right? With Barron, because that's where he goes to school. They put him in a private school there, so she was there with him until he finished or whatever. And they were living at the house, of her parents' house. That's why when her mom passed, she was spending time there. Let's see. There is a Jesus Christ. Hold on. By the way, hit that like if you would. Or don't, if you're here, as a troll or a maggot or whatever, please hit the thumbs down, whatever site you're on, and feel free to write something. Just don't use any bigoted or violent language. Trump on Ingram Angle ASAP. Mary, she's on right now. He's on right now with her, or because they're doing a live thing. Aren't they? Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. Trump on Ingraham Angle. Laura Ingraham. Oh, the town hall. Right. Oh, this is her thing on there. Where is it? This is her little ad for it. Here you go. This is, here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here we are at the town hall. People are already lined up outside. What time.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. Anytime.
Even outside, it's packed.
Yeah, people are already lined up outside because the doors aren't open, which is how things work.
8:45 in the morning. And I'm kind of looking around. There's all these people. I don't know what they're, I guess do they work, Sam? I feel okay.
I don't know what these, how do these shows get on the air? Because I just sit behind a desk and let magic flow. But these fucking people are like bending over and doing stuff. Ugh. Is this the working class? Is this what we're pretending to care about now at Fox News? What the fuck?
And then I'm looking at this and they say, you know when they say to a kid, don't touch something? Like don't touch the thing on the table. I do this with my kids. The first thing they do is touch that thing. So they told me not to touch this. Ooh, Ingram. Oh, all right, they're yelling at me. But anyway, they're even protecting the Ingram angle.
Get off the stage.
Okay, get off. Thank you. They're telling me I have to get off the stage, but it's like a kid in a candy store. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Oh God. It's okay. First of all, the paper's down on it because it's dual contact adhesive. So the top of it's sticky and the bottom of it's sticky because the bottom is stickier than the top, and so you get the peel off the sticker, and that's how it gets on there. But also they're setting up so they don't want people to stand on it, dumb fuck. And you can see it through the paper. But you know what? Who am I to... This is the exciting part. You're right. You're right. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me see if I can find that, because I don't know if it's actually going to be... Let's see. How to watch Donald Trump's town hall interview on television. Continue to say. Former president, I would know. There we go. Town hall. There we go. It's a pre-recorded town hall, and it's gonna air at 7. Oh, so they get to edit a bunch of shit. Well, that's exciting. Hold on. Continue the site. Fox News pivots down. Oh, but they had to move it. Fox News pivots Donald Trump, Laura Ingraham town hall from Spartanburg to Greenville. Apparently there was an issue. Only days after it was announced, plans to visit Spartanburg on February 20th. The former president will now be visiting Greenville instead, obviously because they couldn't find it. It wasn't 100%. It was a county he didn't win by 100%, so it made him nervous. Host is an early voting center located across the street from the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium. That's where they were going to do it. Live audience member be asked questions at the town hall. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to try and see if we can... I'm still looking to dig it up. It's probably just on the Fox channel, you think, or whatever. There's a clip of pre-town hall question. Okay. Had the audience members that I gave you. I see. Thank you, CSL. I'll see if I can dig. It's always hard to, there's so much stuff. Oh, is this it? The establishment. Is it the establishment is after Trump? Is that the one? I'll grab that one just in case. It might be. And then Nikki Haley is only helping Joe Biden. That's her opinion. There we go. And then is that the one you're talking about? Hold on one second. I will grab this and then because they've asked. I guess they allowed people to do it and they released a little sample of the thing. So this is here she is, Laura Ingraham, everyone. This is her.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is Ingram Angle. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Tyrants in training. That's the focus of.
Okay, boring. That's her argument there. About it's we don't live in we live in a dictatorship. Blah blah blah. So yeah. And I can't find it in there. Can you post it at the tail end? Would you mind, CSL, in our thing so I can grab it again? Because I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Am I scrolling right past it like an asshole? I probably am. But hold on, chat room. And doo-ba-doo-doo. I'm gonna find it. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's always something. That's what I'm always doing. There's going this. A lot of Glenn Beck, Jesse Waters. And, I see. Gotcha. I found it. Got it. Okay. Here it is. Undecided South Carolina voters reveal their true thoughts before the Ingraham Town Hall. Are we sure this isn't just like an incel meeting? Or?
The problem is, this is someone we're talking about could win the Republican nomination. And he's going to be in court March and April, May and June. He, by his own words, said he's going to be spending more time in court than he is on the campaign trail. That's a problem. Republicans will not win if Donald Trump is the nominee.
That's true.
Now, she's trailing in the polls by double digits, but did yesterday's Fox town hall with Nikki Haley move the needle ahead of Saturday's primary? What do voters need to hear from her or from Trump to make their decision? So we decided to ask them. Raymond's back, and he's joined in Greenville, South Carolina by a panel of...
Hi, Raymond. How are you?
Undecided voters, Jason.
I've been freshly shellacked.
Tracy, Eric, Dakota, and Matt. All right, Ray, it's great to see the panel there. What's everybody saying?
What's everybody saying? I'm so glad I'm not there where I have to sit with those normals.
You know, I asked everybody, Laura, before we started, what was the big issue for them, the number one issue as they...
Immigrate border, obviously, border eggs, eggs coming across the border with fentanyl in them.
Go to the polls, and what was it?
Immigration.
Immigration.
Immigration. That's what South Carolina voters are. They're worried about people from Greece coming over on boats.
Border and immigration. Why? Jason, you are a pastor.
Yeah.
Why are you concerned about this issue?
You're a pastor. Why are you?
Just the amount of fentanyl and the drugs that are coming over. I've been to way too many funerals of people who've overdosed on fentanyl, and the resources that are being
Have you thought of maybe doing a sermon against it?
used to house migrants could be used to help the homeless here.
Mm-hmm. Tracy, you also very concerned about the border and what to do about the 10 million people who've come into the country.
Yeah, that we don't actually know came into the country, but that's a big number and it's scary, and I'll say it.
Biden.
That's what I'm worried about, the logistics of finding these people.
Yeah, where are they? I mean, you can see them. You can absolutely see them. I was in the market and I was like, there's one, We know, I know,
And sending them back home. Now, Nikki
That's right.
Haley said E-Verify is what she would use, and that's great, but criminals aren't looking for jobs, and E-Verify won't affect them. So I'd like to know how we can get them before they commit a crime.
Dakota.
Yeah, that's the thing about criminals that I think we got to fix is how do we get the criminals before they commit a crime? I agree. I mean, there's got to be something, maybe a brain chip. Maybe just like more cameras and surveillance, I think. How about wiretap everyone? I think that's a possibility, right? And float that idea,
Is a student here in South Carolina. You're concerned about the border. Why?
Why?
Think students wouldn't be concerned about this.
You'd think students wouldn't be carried. You're freewheeling it, You're getting a handy at the fucking frat house, and you're just yelling food fight, and yeah.
I'm honestly really concerned because at school I study criminology, and my colleagues are just talking about it all the time about.
Yeah, they're talking about crime all the time, and so you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of crime. Like this. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it this much if there wasn't a lot of crime. I mean, we're studying crime. So it is the main topic of conversation. So, yeah.
The fentanyl epidemic that's coming from the border and how it's just ravaging even our campus.
And Matt, your big concern.
Well, the wall has not been completed. We've got to get that done. But I've also never met an American who would open the door and let someone in their house if you don't know who's coming in or who's on your front doorstep.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
Who are these people? Where are they? And you certainly wouldn't let somebody in if they look like these people do.
I know this is another burning issue for you. You were very impassioned.
Also, you do realize that the border isn't your door. They're still technically outside. But, okay.
About it earlier.
Yes, human trafficking for me, the part of that destroying our America as far as the thought of children being molested, it just sickens me.
Rips you up. Yeah, me too.
What did he say? Hold on.
Of children being molested, it just sickens me.
Rips you up. Yeah, me too.
Rips you off? What the fuck?
Thought of children being molested, it just sickens me.
Rips you up. Yeah, me too.
Rips? What did you feel like what do you mean? He paid for a kid and they didn't deliver?
Laura, I know you have a
rips you up. I see.
Question for the panel.
Well, I'd like to know what everyone thinks about the
Nikki Haley. I mean, she's brown. The people coming across the border are brown. Connection? I think so.
The additional request for $60 billion more for Ukraine. Trump tried to get $5 billion for a wall, and that was summarily rejected during his time in office. So that it put us up to about $160 billion for Ukraine, and they're now obviously at a stalemate there.
Yeah. Okay. Who supports more funding for Ukraine? Oh, I got one.
The guy in the middle. Maybe. I mean, it depends.
One in the back. Matt's doing this. Why?
Well, I'm all about, defending Ukraine from Russia, but I would at least like to know where the money's going to. There's got to be some sense of accountability, and we continue to send.
You do realize we have congressional groups and groups of senators going over there and going over this stuff. They literally have oversight groups on behalf of the oversight committee that go over there and look at the stuff and talk to them and have working groups back and forth. You do realize these motherfuckers don't know that exists, do they? Jesus.
So much money, but when is another country going to pay their way?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tracy.
I'd like to see us squeeze Russia financially so they're not able to continue the war more than just throwing money at Zelensky and not knowing where it's
Oh, you mean like sanctions or something? That's a good idea. I wonder if anybody's tried that.
going.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see, accountability. Where's the money going? Who's getting it? Are they,
Could it possibly be, Pastor, if I would, that it's not that the knowledge isn't available or the information isn't out there. It's that you don't give a fuck. Because you're not telling me that somebody's, not looking. You're telling me that you're not looking.
Ukraine just lost a city, and they said they had no weapons. Where's the money for that?
Yeah. I know.
Say it one more time.
City.
Ukraine just lost a city because they didn't have any weapons. Where's the money for that?
Getting it. Are they, Ukraine just lost a city, and they said they had no weapons. Where's the money for that?
Yeah. I know that some of.
No, they didn't say they didn't have any weapons. They don't have ammo, you dumb motherfucker. An empty weapon is a fucking tent pole. Good Lord. Slava Ukraine, dipshit. Why can't I just jump through the screen and talk to these folks? Why?
You also were very concerned about inflation and what it's doing now. That was kind of the second tier issue. Why is that so important? How are you feeling it in this community, Eric?
Going to the grocery store, you can't even buy a hamburger, make a hamburger helper nowadays. It's so expensive.
Going to the grocery store, you can't even buy hamburger to make hamburger helper. It's so expensive. Let's see. Hamburger. Let's see. The average price of ground beef is, it's come down some. Hold on. It was at $5.35 and now it's at $5 on the average. Price of ground beef and cost per pound, 430 U.S. city average. Fresh regular ground beef excluding round chuck and sirloin includes organic, non-organic. Average customer price calculated per ounce of fuel. Price except for electricity. Okay, this is just the IRS. This is the Fed's number on it. Hold on. What is the price of a pound of hamburger today? For family-sized packages, 3 pounds of 70% lean, expect to pay between $1 and $1.50 per pound. Sorry, how much fucking hamburger do you need for a... What's the recipe? I don't make Hamburger Helper. Motherfucker, hold on. How much is hamburger? Hold on. Hamburger Helper recipe. What does it say on the box? Jesus. 1 pot homemade hamburger helper. Okay. Homemade hamburger helper. That's all they say. Original. There it is. The original hamburger helper recipe. Let's get in here, you dumb son of a bitch. All right. Oops. Hold on. Get down here. I've got to show you. 1 second. It's a multi-step process. So, hamburger helper. Step 1. Let's see. In a large saute pan with a lid, brown the ground beef over medium. How much? How much ground beef? 30 minutes. Best hamburger helper with a novice chef. Okay, there it is. How to cook it. Get 1 pound of ground beef. You're using 93.7? What the fuck's wrong with you? 80-20, you dumb motherfucker. Yeah, you'll need to drain the grease, but then it's not grease, it's fat. What's wrong with you? They didn't know the difference between grease and fat. All right.
The average family, they can afford it. What are they going to...
The average family can afford... Jesus Christ. Okay, Trump's on Fox News right now? Okay. The average family absolutely can afford Hamburger Helper, you dumb fuck. $1.50 for a pound of ground beef, and then whatever Hamburger Helper costs the same. Fuck are you talking about?
Going to do? They can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. The other big issue, you heard Haley raise a little bit of it. She has made the age of Donald Trump and Joe Biden central to her campaign. Does Donald Trump's age concern you all?
No. Not me.
Yule?
No.
Yule Brenner? Etc., etc., etc. Yule? What is it, fucking Christmas? You all? Is this asshole trying to get down south?
I would say in general, we should try to go more towards younger people running for office.
Yeah, we should go more towards younger people running for office. Shut up until you graduated, you dumb fuck.
Uh-huh. Okay. Laura, you had another question.
Well, I think the bottom line is, what do you think?
Not so much a question as what's wrong with you?
Our role should be in the world when we're $37 trillion in debt.
Why don't you get to the point where we should leave Ukrainians to die? Yeah, ground beef is $5 more or more a pound in Canada. Oh, good lord. It's $5 in New Zealand. You guys have Costco? I mean, come on. It's expensive. 80-20 is about $5 per pound in many places. It's not that expensive. Hold on. I buy it in those strips of 3 at Costco. Hold on. And now we're going to get in a conversation about food. Okay, hold on. Costco Wagyu ground beef. They also have bison there that I get sometimes as well. Where is it? Yeah. This is... Yeah, this is Wagyu, and it's $16 for 3 of these. And I mean, I don't eat much else past it. 48 ounces. Related products rather. And then I think there's a regular ground beef or something. Hold on, I'll find that as well. But I mean, it's fucking Wagyu, which is really weird. Like that's fancy pants. Let's is American Wagyu cheaper than A5 Wagyu? Okay, well, they're back and forth. Are they worth it? Images of Costco, blah blah blah. Wagyu steaks are obviously expensive. Costco price of ground beef. There you go. Yeah, so Costco, there you go. Around $3.49, according to Costco and Reddit, regular ground. Oh, quit it, you jerk. This thing always freaks out. Around $3.49 a pound. This is, which is 88% lean. So $3.49 a pound. Again, that is a meal with a hamburger helper. That's $8. That's dinner. Point being is that I'm going to put it out there that none of these folks, except maybe the guy in the middle, look like they're low on calories, if that makes sense. I'm just saying that's what it traditionally, that's not what starving people look like. That's what people who have plenty banana helper, nobody eats banana helper. I'm just saying none of these folks look like they've skipped a dessert in a while. Right? You know what I'm saying? I think you do. Walmart is 2.5 pounds for $11, 2.25. Yeah. And, congratulations. You live in a time where, fat isn't a miracle. There's a reason why Buddha was fat, because it was like, everybody's like, holy shit. You imagine how happy you'd be if you had that much gut? Because I'm starving all the time. It was an aspirational character for them. I was vegan. It made me sick. Sorry, because I can't be vegan. That said, love you guys. Hi, real quick. I'm going to see if I might have to, let's see. I guess, hold on. Fox News. Let's just go straight to their site, maybe? See if they live stream, watch TV. Play. It's going to ask me for this.
I saw someone who laid out methodically how he got Mexico to send troops to the border. I saw someone who
is this
talked
over?
about Nord Stream 2 and how he stopped Nord Stream 2. But for all of the Russia critics out there of former President Trump, Putin didn't invade on his watch. He invaded on Biden's watch. So an independent voter, I think, was won over totally tonight if they watch. And if he keeps up this tone, he will have a tailwind behind him going to November. It wasn't personal. It was measured, and it was geared towards winning and adding.
Good Lord. And Vivek is now one of their Trump boosters. And also, what's with the uplighting on Jesse Waters? Hey, Fox, he looks creepy enough. He looks like the serial killer version of Chandler from Friends. The Ingram special report with Brett Baer. I guess it just finished. Yes? And it was edited, so it was just her hour? Is that what it was? I don't know if it's in here. Let's see. This is Fox News' page. Predicts Democrats are going to push Biden aside for this politician. Whatever. This is fucking goofy bullshit. Okay, these are all a mix of promo stories. K-Link, I'm not making the case that they look fat to me. I'm saying they're not hungry. It's an important distinction. The idea that somehow they're like, a family can't afford to eat. And you're like, And again, this is all, it's all clickbait shit on that other channel. Hey, Boston Brian, how you doing, brother? I'm going to call it a night since I'm overtime anyways. And then tomorrow I'm traveling. I'm actually traveling tonight. I'm flying out tonight, and I'll be hopefully in a hotel where I can and be set up to do my morning show on time tomorrow. Wish me luck. I'll try and get in there and not be completely comatose because I'll be flying all night. And then I'll have the afternoon show early because of just where I am and because of the time difference. So hope maybe I'll do that one. I'll do the Trump town hall then, or pull clips from it and use that, which I normally don't do, but it'd be one of the ways where I can actually do a whole show. It's just I'm on a red eye tonight at 1:30 in the morning. So yeah. It's a lot. So just family stuff. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow. We should have relatively regular shows. I just might have to move the time around a little bit. Just see, yeah, that kind of thing. And then Thursday show will be regular because I'm flying right back. And because, I just try to, just lighten the candle, burn the candle at both ends and trying to light the middle as you do. So, yeah. Anyways, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Take care, and I'll see you soon. And good Lord. Take care of your bananas, everybody. Hit that like on your way out. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Okay, bye.